So we're here to talk about Maxta and hyper-converged storage today. So basically what we're doing at Maxta here is we're giving you, flexibility, simplicity, scalability, and minimizing your costs. So we're providing hyper-converged storage on any x86 server. So that means you can go with the vendor of your choice or you can leverage your existing server vendor. We're simplifying your IT. You're managing VMs now, not managing storages, not managing LUNs. Everything's VM-centric, VM-level granularity. We're giving you the ability to scale compute and storage independently, so you don't need to buy a new appliance just because you need 2 terabytes of storage. You can just pop in an extra drive and add that to your Maxta cluster. And then we're also just giving you a lower total cost of ownership, right? Because again, the capacity expenditure that you would have from your traditional storage array, all the networking you need, the markup on that brand name storage array box that you're getting, we're getting rid of that. We're bringing everything into your server layer, running on commodity hardware, and leveraging your slower spinning disk, your 7.2K RPM SATAs for cost efficiency when it comes to capacity, and also leveraging your flash as a performance layer to give you that higher performance with a lower cost still. So just a few of the customers we have, you can see a few of the big names up there, Motorola, Driscoll's, companies that have deployed Maxta for quite some time now and are having a good experience there. All right, so how does Maxta do hyperconvergence? So what we're doing, again, as I mentioned, we're kind of getting rid of the storage array. So traditionally you would have had your servers up at the top level, your fiber channel networking going down to your storage array. So we've gotten rid of the bottom level here, and we brought everything up into the compute layer. So you can see you've got your servers loaded up with the compute and storage. You're running the hypervisor, which is your abstraction layer. Then on top of that, we're presenting you with the distributed storage software, which is going to be Maxta's hyper-converged solution. And for a VMware environment, that's just going to look like a simple NFS data store with all the aggregated storage resources from each server in your cluster. And then again, just on top of that, you're going to deploy your VMs just as you normally would through vSphere. And you're going to see that we're writing all your data to that Maxta NFS data store, and it's getting distributed across the disk and nodes in your cluster, bringing you the high performance and high availability. And so how do we go to market here, right? We offer you 2 solutions. One is the software-defined Maxta storage platform, and the other is Max Deploy, which is really just going to be the software-defined storage bundled with your server, like what we're showing today with the Dells or the Lenovos. You're getting that pre-configured, pre-validated appliance available to you. So what does MXSP give you? It's software-defined storage. It's the software-only solution with either perpetual or subscription licensing methods. It's giving you the flexibility. Do it yourself, your choice in hardware, Dell, Lenovo, HP, Cisco, Supermicro, Quanta, whoever you want as your server vendor, mix and match clusters. It can even work on top of your existing servers. And of course, most importantly, you're getting the full featured enterprise class services at VM level granularity that you expect from your storage solution. So with that, we're talking about inline compression and dedupe, high availability, good fault tolerance scenarios, good failure scenarios. All right, and then Max Deploy is just the hyperconverged appliance, right? So we're not giving you the markup that some of our competitors do when it comes to that appliance. We're not putting a Maxta bezel on it. We're just working with Dell partners, with Lenovo partners, with your server vendor of your choice, or with your own partners to give you that pre-configured appliance that's been validated by us. So it gives you that peace of mind with the interoperability, the ease of ordering, and again, the kind of predictability of performance. And so if you go to our website, you'll see we have this configuration tool, which really helps you kind of say, hey, I want to deploy for primary storage on Cisco with 50 terabytes, or if you're doing a VDI deployment, the number of desktops that you're running. It will say, hey, this is kind of the server that you should use with this number of SSDs and this number of spinning disks to get the best optimal configuration for you for your environment. So what are some kind of cool things that we've added to our new release of the product? One is MX Insight, which is our entirely new user interface. That's going to give you real-time and historical statistics. It's a common management platform, whether you're deployed on VMware, KVM, or OpenStack. The historical and real-time stats are available, on a cluster level, on a per node level, per VM, per virtual disk, and even on storage pool. And again, that's both historical and real-time. So on the dashboard, we'll show you real-time. You can go and view historical in case there were any failures. You can see what happened, why there was a latency spike, why there was an IOPS spike. You can really check what's going on in your environment. Another nice thing that we've added here is all these VM-centric data management policies. And again, this is because we're designed from the ground up for the virtual platform. So you can specify, the number of replica copies you want. By default, you'll survive one node failure or one disk failure. If you increase the number of copies of data, you can survive, 2 node failures, 2 disk failures, and so on as you go up. Rebuild priority. If you have a failure and you want that VM to always be highly available, to always have multiple copies of data, set the rebuild priority to 10, and it'll be first in the queue to get rebuilt on another disk in your cluster. By default, we're wide striping, so we're striping your data across as many disks and nodes in the cluster as possible. If you want to preserve data locality for a specific VM, you can go ahead and disable the wide striping, and we'll stripe across the disk within one node on your cluster and then replicate over to another node and do the same thing with striping across the disk in that node. And then again, there's node affinity policies where you can say, hey, I want my data to be only deployed on nodes 3, 4, and 5 in my cluster. So we'll stripe and mirror across those nodes only for that particular VM. And then on a per virtual disk basis, you can also enable and disable read cache and compression. And that's just kind of shown here, where when you create a vdisk, you can go ahead, you can enable or disable read cache and compression per virtual disk. So if you have a database running, you want that to be consuming read cache, go ahead and disable read cache on some of the other VMs in your cluster. Snapshot policy is just the ability to kind of create a schedule for creating and retaining snapshots. So you can say, hey, I want Monday through Friday every 2 hours, I want to create a snapshot, and I only want to keep a total of 20 snapshots at any point in time, and that just gives you that quick data backup option. All right, another nice feature that we've added for this release is MX Cloud Connect. And that's basically a cloud portal that's going to provide you with your alerts and events. So the Maxta support will monitor that, and you'll be able to monitor it also from the cloud, where you can see, hey, I'm reaching cluster capacity usage. I should probably add a new disk. And our support staff will also be monitoring that, so that if we notice, hey, customer X, you're at 80% capacity usage across your cluster, you should probably add a new disk, we can go ahead and contact you and let you know. And additionally, through our UI, you also get email notifications based on these alerts. And this cloud portal also gives us the ability to run some data analytics and optimize your workload specifically for your use case. In use cases, we can be primary storage for your business applications. We work well in Robo, virtual desktop environments, VDI. We can be your disaster recovery site, great for test and development because of our zero copy snapshots and clones. And then again, we can be a great solution for managed service providers because of that flexibility. You can use the server of your choice and deploy in the way you want to. And yeah, I think that's about it. Again, we're maximizing flexibility, simplicity, maximizing your cost savings, giving you kind of storage the way you want it and the way it should be done.